Do you want to get started eating the Mediterranean diet, but you're not really sure you have the right equipment? Well, then this video is for you because I will be breaking down my top kitchen tools that you need to get started on the Mediterranean diet, and I'm willing to bet you already have them in your kitchen. Make sure to stick around till the end because the last one is the most important one of all. Hey there, I'm Dr. Anna. I'm a medical doctor trained in Italy, and on this channel, you will learn how to master the Mediterranean diet. So let's set the scene here. It's 500 years ago, and you live in a little village in Italy on the coast, and half of your town are farmers, and the other half are fishermen. And every day you go to the market, you get your fresh food for your family. Maybe you have your own garden or you're working on a farm yourself. Well, you walk into your little house and you start cooking. What would you probably use? Is it an air fryer? How about a pressure cooker? I don't think so. Remember, they didn't even have electricity back then. Very likely their main cooking method was using fire, flame. So if you're wondering what you need to get started cooking the Mediterranean diet, the way it's been eaten for hundreds of years, here's what you gotta know. My first tool for you that you probably need in order to master this diet is a knife and a cutting board. And the knife should be as sharp as possible. Now, which knife to get? In general, you're going to be eating lots of vegetables and fruits on this diet. So I recommend having a large knife. Maybe it's a chef's knife or a butcher's knife, and try to make sure it's as sharp as possible to make sure it's safe. I do also recommend that you have a serrated knife, which is going to be helpful to cut through some tough skin of certain vegetables like tomatoes or eggplant. As well, if you bake bread or you like to pick up fresh bread for yourself, and remember, back in the day, they didn't have pre-sliced bread in a grocery store. They were getting it from the local bakery, which was probably a very whole grain brown bread that maybe had some seeds in it and it was very crunchy on the outside. You need a serrated knife to get through that. So that's my recommendation. At a minimum, you might want to have 2 knives in your kitchen, and of course you want a cutting board or a cutting mat. Now, what's my second tool for you? Well, the second tool is to have a pot. A big pot if you can manage it, but if not, a medium one will do. The Mediterranean diet is full of having sauces, soups, stews, lots of easy things that you can make quickly, and you'll want to have a pot for also boiling things. You're going to want to boil some rice, some quinoa, some barley, maybe pasta. So having a good pot is really helpful so that you can do lots of fun things in your kitchen. Now, if you're finding this video useful so far or you're learning something new, I want you to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead, click the bell notifications on so that you don't miss any crucial information you might want to help support your health with the Mediterranean diet. Now, what's my third tool for you? Well, it's a colander or a strainer. Remember, I talked about when using the pot, you're gonna wanna boil things. So when you boil things, you usually need to strain them off. A colander is also really useful for washing lots of veggies or fruits. So maybe you have berries that you picked or you got from the grocery store and you might want to rinse them off before you eat them. A colander is just really useful. It's way too difficult trying to hold a bunch of blueberries in your hands and put them under the faucet. I do it all the time, but believe me, a colander is really helpful. Now, a colander can also be useful for straining things that weren't boiled, like soaking beans or lentils overnight before you cook them. You're going to want to strain off that water before you then go cook them again. As well, often before boiling rice, you want to rinse it off and get some of that starch water off so it doesn't get too sticky once you actually cook it. A colander is the thing that you need in order to do that. All right. So what is my fourth kitchen tool that you need in order to do the Mediterranean diet? Well, it's having a good old frying pan. Now, I'm not necessarily recommending that you're doing any deep frying here. The Mediterranean diet uses a lot of olive oil in the cooking, but it typically incorporates things that are steamed or sauteed, not necessarily deep fried in oil. It's such an easy thing to have in your kitchen because you can throw in a medley of vegetables, you can cook fish, you can cook meat, you can cook some eggs. It's just really handy to have a good frying pan, and I think most of you listening to this probably have at least one in your kitchen. Now, my question of the day for you: what is your favorite cooking tool? Comment below and share with us. Is it something that you need in order to follow the Mediterranean diet? Maybe it's not, but share with our community of healthy eaters because I'm sure we would all love to find out what gadgets and gizmos are really gearing people up for eating well. Now, if you found this video helpful so far, I want you to like it and share this video with at least 3 people that you think could benefit information about the Mediterranean diet and how to eat healthier. Now, if your kitchen is equipped with all these tools and you're ready to get fired up to start eating the Mediterranean diet and cooking the Mediterranean diet today, I want you to click this video right here where I talk about the easiest way to get started on the Mediterranean diet for absolute beginners. Go ahead, click that video, and I'll see you over there.